Hello children, in this video we will learn about the features of our constitution. Chapter 2 in Civics of class 8. From this chapter we are going to learn about the topic Features of our Constitution, Chapter 2. From this chapter you will be able to know the vision of the Constitution and the principles guiding it, with a focus on the secularism, the importance of fundamental rights guaranteed by our Constitution, and the fundamental duties in contributing to the growth of our country. Every written constitution in the world has its own unique characteristics, and no exception is the Indian Constitution has many prominent features that distinguish it from the other contributions. The Indian Constitution contains 395 articles and 12 schedules, making it the world's longest written constitution. Since 1951, about 90 articles and more than 100 amendments have been added in our constitution. Let's go to the topic. In this chapter, we will examine the key ideas and principles enshrined in the Constitution of India. The Preamble to the Constitution. The Preamble is nothing but Preamble is an introduction to the Constitution. It outlines the objectives of the Constitution. Some of the terms in the Preamble used to describe our country and its goals are sovereign, socialist, democratic, secular, and republic. The preamble to the Constitution or the nature of the state. The nature of the state or the kind of the government India will have defined by the following words in the sovereign, socialist, democratic, and secular, and the republic. Sovereign. The word sovereign means being completely independent and free from the external control. India is free to frame its own laws and govern its people according to the principles outlined by its constitution. And the socialist, to ensure social and economic equality for all its citizens through the equal distribution of the country's resources, equal pay for equal work, and by enabling a means of livelihood for all. And the third one, it's a democratic. Based on the principles of democracy, in a democracy, the government is formed by the representatives elected by the citizens of the country. Every adult citizen of India has a right to vote. And the fourth one, secular. A secular government treats all religions equally and does not support any particular faith. The state does not interfere in the religious practices of any particular community. And the last one, republic. India became a republic on 26 January 1950. We are celebrating our Republic Day on January 26. We got it from on 1950. In a republic, the head of the state is not a monarch but someone who is elected by the people. In India, the head of the state is a president who is elected for a term of 5 years by the representatives of the citizens. And the next, the federal government. The constitution envisages India as a union of states with a federal form of government. This means that the powers of governance are divided between the central and the states. At the central level, the parliament made up of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha frames the laws for the country. The Prime Minister is the executive head of the government while the President is the nominal head. At the state level, the governor is the nominal head while the chief minister heads the government. The state legislature is known as the Vidhan Sabha, makes the law for our state. So we have two types of governments. One is the central government and the other one is the state government. In a central government, there is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and the Prime Minister is the head of the state. And in the state government, A governor is the nominal head while the chief minister heads the government. Okay. And the next, the objectives of the state. What are the objectives of the state? The state assures the citizens of India justice, equality, liberty, and fraternity. These are called as the objectives of the state. Our constitution seeks to give every citizen what they are entitled to by establishing an equitable and just society. So that is called the justice. And the next one, equality. All citizens are equal before law and have equal opportunities. Our constitution prohibits discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, and the place of birth. This provides the every individual an equal opportunity for development. So in India we have the equal rights and duties in front of the law, in before the law, and have equal opportunities in all the fields. So, and the third one, liberty. Liberty means nothing that it's a freedom. Our constitution protects our freedom to think, express ourselves, to follow many faiths, and to practice any form of worships. We have a full freedom to follow any form of worships, and we have freedom to think and express ourselves. So that is called as a liberty. And the last one of the objectives of the state is a fraternity. Fraternity is given the diverse culture of our country. The Indian constitution seeks to promote the fraternity or the spirit of our brotherhood among the citizens of India. The feeling of the fraternity is important for preserving national unity. In our school prayer, we are saying our pledge, right? In the pledge, what we are going to say? India is my country, all Indians are our brothers and sisters. So that is called a fraternity. All the Indians are our brothers and sisters. The spirit of it was developing the spirit of brotherhood among the citizens of India. And the next, fundamental rights. Our constitution guarantees every citizen of India certain rights that ensure a life of dignity, peace and harmony. Such rights are known as the fundamental rights. The fundamental rights are outlined in third part of the constitution. They are safeguarded by the judiciary. In case of any of the rights are violated, the citizens can move the court for their protection. The constitution outlines the 7 fundamental rights. So all the citizens of India have a fundamental rights. So there are 7 fundamental rights in our constitution. What are the 7 fundamental rights, children? Right to freedom, right to equality, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies, right to education. So these are all the 7 fundamental rights. Let's see the first right to freedom. The right to freedom expresses the freedom of speech and expression, assemble peacefully without arms, form associations and unions, move freely within the territory of India, reside and settle in any part of the territory of India, practice any profession or carry on in any occupation, trade or business. So these are the right to freedom points. We have a full freedom for the speech and expression and the peacefully without arms. So these are all the right to freedom. And the next right is right to equality. The right to equality guarantees every citizen of India equality before the law and equal protection of the law. No citizen can be discriminated against on grounds of religion, race, sex, caste, or place of birth. Article 17 abolishes the untouchability and prohibits its practice in any form. The Constitution of our India also forbids the state from conferring any title except the military and academic ones on the citizens of India. So, children, the right to equality, importantly, it was abolishes the untouchability. So that is the equality to all the citizens of India. And the third right, it's a right against exploitation. It was one of the most important rights, children, because it's a right against exploitation. The right against exploitation is defined in Article 23rd and 24th of the Constitution. This fundamental right forbids the human trafficking and forced labor. It also prohibits the employment of children below 14 years of age in factories, mines, and other dangerous jobs. And the next right is right to freedom of religion. All citizens of India shall have the right to freely profess, practice, and propagate in any religion. Every religious community shall have the right to establish religious institution. The no religions instruction shall be provided in the state-run educational institution. So these are the right to freedom of religion. And the next right is cultural and educational rights. And it is also a most important rights, children. It is the cultural and the educational rights. The cultural and the educational rights enable the citizens of India to safeguard and their language, culture, and the spread. The Constitution guarantees the linguistic and the religious minorities the right to establish and administer the educational institution of their choice. And the next right is the right to constitutional remedies. It protects the citizens of India against the violation of the fundamental rights by the state. The Supreme Court has the power to issue the orders to or writs for the enforcement of the fundamental rights. And the last right is the right to education. The right to education aims to provide the free and compulsory education to all children between 6 and 14 years of age. Nowadays, all the children at the age of 6 to 14 years of age have our government and our Indian Constitution has to provide the free and the compulsory education to all the children. And the next, significance of fundamental rights. The fundamental rights protect the liberty and the safety of all the citizens of country. They strengthen the secular spirit of our country. They safeguard the interests of the minorities and the weakened sections of the society. They lay the foundation for a just and equitable society. And the directive principles of the state policies are in Part 4 of our Constitution. It framing the laws and the policies that ensure the welfare, justice, and the development in all social, economic, political areas. However, unlike the fundamental rights, the directive principles are not enforceable by any court of law, children. And the most important next one is the fundamental duties. Indian citizen is expected to fulfill the duties served to protect the nation and uphold its unity. And they were added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. The following are some duties of the citizens of India: to respect the ideals of the Constitution, the national anthem, and the national flag. Children, in our prayer or else in the government places, if we can see the national flag or else if we can hear the national anthem, immediately we have to respect first. So that is the main duty of our all the citizens, to defend the country and the render national service whenever called upon to do so, to respect the sovereignty, unity, and the integrity of the country, to protect the natural environment, including the forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, to safeguard our public property. So, these are all the fundamental duties, children. So, these are all the features of our Indian Constitution. The Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document, it is a vehicle of life, and its spirit, it is always a spirit of age. Thank you.